Hello, scaredy cats. Welcome to Jump Scare, the weekly show where I bring you into the frightening world of horror. I am your host, Cierra. Giallo has many recognizable characteristics, including the gloved, unidentified serial killer, the bright, saturated colors, and the ill-fated protagonist who sees something they shouldn't. In the late 1920s, around 1929, little yellow pulp mystery books began to circulate Italy. The novels were titled Il Giallo Mandatory, or Mandatori's Yellow Books. The books rose to popularity in the 30s and 40s. Giallo takes many of the stylistic and thematic elements from opera, most notably the Grand Guignol, which blends the styles of melodrama and extreme violence. It also takes cues from Alfred Hitchcock films, classic Gothic literature, and, naturally, film noir. Giallo also took notes from the short-lived German subgenre krimi films of the 1950s. If you guys want me to do a special episode focused on German krimi films, let me know in the comments below. The first Giallo film is usually considered to be The Girl Who Knew Too Much from 1963, directed by Mario Bava. The film has many thematic elements that we are familiar with, including the elusive killer, stylish direction, and the woman in jeopardy. However, the film was not as gruesome or sexual as we know Giallo to be today. Early Giallo still looked to the Gothic genre for inspiration. In fact, Edgar Allan Poe was a huge inspiration for many Giallo pictures. They were reflective and similar, perhaps maybe competition to the many Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe films that I mentioned in my Vivacious Vincent Price episode. Even Bava's Blood and Black Lace took a few pointers from The Cask of Amontillado and The Mask of the Red Death for many of the death scenes. This film introduced the iconic look of the killer in all-black uniform, including the iconic black gloves. Later, the body count became higher and the blood more saturated, a style that Argento would later possess with his bright, glossy red blood. The 60s began the golden age of Giallo. Soon the 70s rang in, and Bava's successor, Dario Argento, made his Gialli debut with The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, a film that put the gaze trope at the forefront of Giallo. Argento did help mold the genre as we know it today, even inspiring Mario Bava himself to take notes for his film Shock. Then many other directors began to enter the scene: Lucio Fulci, Sergio Martino, Luciano Ercole, and a few well-known Mondo directors, Umberto Lenzi, Ruggiero Deodato, and Paolo Cavara. They all dabbled in Giallo. If you want to learn more about Mondo, check out Jump Scare's Mondo episode. I also wrote an article about it, which I can link in the description below. Early Giallo focused primarily on absurd yet realistic crimes. However, Argento revolutionized the genre by taking a more supernatural approach with the Three Mothers trilogy: Suspiria, Inferno, and Mother of Tears. Around this time, Argento began to work with the band Goblin. Goblin's music became iconic and synonymous with the Giallo genre. Goblin went on to also score the music for Dawn of the Dead. Ennio Morricone was also known for his scores in various Giallo films, particularly his work with Umberto Lenzi and Dario Argento. During the 70s, Giallo became increasingly more violent and sexual, and by the 80s, the mystery element of Giallo waned, ushering in the slashers. So Giallo inspired the slashers that we know today. Mario Bava's later film, A Bay of Blood, would be considered the earliest slasher film, a perfect way to come full circle if you think about it, since if he did the first Giallo film and also the first slasher, Mario Bava's quite the important guy. Well, Lamberto Bava, Mario Bava's son, would later to go on and write and direct and even work with Argento to continue the Giallo tradition, all the way into the 80s, which were truly the climax of Giallo, cementing itself as a recognizable and unique genre. The 1990s only had a handful of Giallo films, including Argento's opera, Fulci's Murder Rock. However, Giallo has made a small comeback in the last decade with films like Neon Demon, The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, and Surreal in 2014. However, many people do not consider these films to be Giallo due to the very fact that they lack a mystery motif. So really, they take on more of the style of Giallo, not necessarily the storyline of Giallo, if that makes sense. But will Giallo ever return with the fervor that it had in the 1970s? Maybe. I mean, with Suspiria's reboot, perhaps it'll usher in a new line of Giallo, whether it's remakes or original Giallo. We'll see. But I know that the moment that I got my hands on Argento's Suspiria, I knew I had witnessed something special. And from there, I began to collect his oeuvre as well as other brilliant Giallo films directed by many talented directors, and I became obsessed with the genre of Giallo. Don't forget to check out our store, popnerdtv.store, where you can check out some really cool merch. And guess what, guys? There's jump scare merch on there for you to buy. Some cool t-shirts, awesome crop tops, and even leggings, so you can look like the creature from the Black Lagoon. And that is it for this week's Jump Scare. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Giallo film is, who your favorite Giallo director is, and let me know what your favorite pieces of your own Giallo collection is. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the PNTV channel on YouTube and check out our Patreon for bonus content. And also a huge special thanks goes out to our sponsor, Famous Monsters of Filmland. And until next time, stay spooky, my friends. And also, let me know what you think of the new remake of Suspiria.